That was like, do you guys have prom here in Europe or no? That was like the best prom entrance in the world. Okay, hi. I like your boots.
Thank you. Oh my God, that's scary. So, I have a problem that whenever I feel anxious or like pressured, I just feel like closing up and I can't talk. And it happens in the worst moments, for example, when I argue with people that I love and I try to resolve the problem and I just block. I just can't talk anymore. And I can't figure out the way to like open up and just communicate.
Have you tried writing?
Yeah, I can do that. Like, I can express myself in physical. For example, if I argue with my partner or my family, I can definitely go to them and hug them or write about it or draw or whatever. I just can't communicate, but I feel like that's one of the most important parts, like in that second.
No, writing is still communication.
Okay.
So this is what you're going to do instead. Just know this about yourself. You can have a pen and paper available, and when you are in the middle of an argument, you start to shut down. Write down your words instead of speak them.
Okay. But what if the other person doesn't want that? If the other person wants, like, the reaction in that specific moment?
No, you're going to be writing in that moment. Like
Okay.
in that moment, that's the reaction.
Yeah, but what, for example, if they expect me to show my love towards them by using the same language, like speaking, not writing it down?
Has anybody ever said that they expect that?
No, but I feel like that.
I've never met anybody who expects that.
Okay. Because, for me, for example, it's harder to speak than to write, but what, for example, if for someone else, they can't write?
They can speak.
Okay. So I write, they speak?
For right now, I think I'm not very interested in unblocking a lot of the stuff that is there because, let's just say I feel like you need to do a little bit of trauma resolution before you do that, because there's some much deeper stuff there than I think you're ready for right now.
Yeah.
And if I unblock your throat at this moment, I'm going to flood you.
Okay. Because I feel like I have so much to say, I really want to.
And you're going to.
Okay.
But the reason you can't speak is some trauma that would flood you. I don't want to overwhelm your system right now.
What kind of trauma? Because
she's trying to push me into it. Look.
I've been working on so many things and I can't find the reason for my trauma or like being scared and anxious when, for example, public speaking or anything like that. And I do all kinds of stuff like chakra opening on throat and stuff. But I just can't find the core.
Hold this next to your throat. I want to see it. Have you been doing the completion process?
I started to, yeah.
I want you to be working with a practitioner instead of on your own.
Okay.
Do you want to know why I had you hold that rock next to your throat?
Because it balances my energy and makes it...
It introduces a vibration which essentially forces your throat chakra to open.
Okay.
But the minute that it did that, all your tissues went to close it up again. It means that there is a trauma there that is threatening enough that I don't want you going through it by yourself.
Okay.
So what I want you to do, if you're open to it, is to try to connect with a completion process facilitator. We've got plenty here if you want to have one in person. And I want you guys to specifically work on the sensation of not being able to speak.
Yeah, and I have very specific problem because I live here in Amsterdam and I'm Slovenian, and I always have to communicate in English. And for me, even though that I can speak English, it's very hard to open up to people that also speak English.
Mm-hmm.
In English, I can only express myself clearly in Slovenian. So I always feel somehow disconnected with people who speak English.
So put it out there publicly. I would like somebody who can facilitate the completion process that speaks my language.
Okay.
We do?
Okay.
Okay, so you guys get to connect with each other, you and whoever speaks Slovenian, okay? I want you to do that work on specifically the throat issue, but with that person, not alone. Because I don't want to tip you over the edge. So until you can do that work, which will uncork your ability to speak, I want you to get into the habit of, when you shut down like that, write your correspondence back and forth. That's okay.
Okay.
It's like if I cut your arms off, you have to find a way to do things anyway, right? So I'm helping you to work around the handicap. Right?
Yeah, but it's very hard sometimes because I have to interact in English all the time, and even though I can speak, obviously, but I just become numb. And I try to escape from these situations.
First of all, those of you who speak second languages and third languages and fourth languages, my God, Europe. Do you understand that when you're in fight or flight mode, which you are socially, the aspect of your brain that is present is not even the language aspect. That means it's difficult even for people in their first language. Good luck on trying to speak a second language on top of being in fight or flight mode. You got to come out of fight or flight mode first, usually, to be able to do that.
Yeah, because I really want to make YouTube videos. I want to do all kinds of stuff related to people and talking to people, obviously. But I feel like I have a barrier because of that. You know what I mean? Well, just because of the language and because of my ability to connect to people.
First of all, if you wanted to do that in English, you could do it today and everyone would understand you perfectly. So that's not an issue.
Yeah, but I feel like
when you're stressed out in fight or flight mode, it will be difficult.
Yeah.
But that you don't get to, you see what you just did? You just said, oh, I have this little issue. Is like when I feel sort of stressed out or when I'm in the moment, I have a really hard time expressing myself in this second language, right? You don't get to then say, oh, and that means I don't get to teach at all.
Okay.
It's like taking the sand pile and brushing it over everything. No, you could do all of that today. The only issue that you genuinely have is when you're in the heat of the moment and you've got your fight or flight mode activated, it's very difficult for you to speak.
Yeah. Okay, so you think I should first start with resolving deeper trauma?
Yeah.
And then, okay.
Yes.
I never thought of that. I thought it's just, I don't know, because it's English, I guess.
No. If that was the case, everyone else would have the same problem.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I'll start with that. Thank you.
Your videos really helped me a lot. Thank you so much.